There's a comment on one of my previous videos by the username QCJN, and he asked a question in there, and it says, "How is it that your MOTD changes?" That's neat. Happy New Year. And I had to look up what MOTD is, and it stands for Message of the Day. And I'm assuming he's referring to, in some of my videos, I'm using Linux Mint, and by default, when I open up a terminal, it gives me a message of the day, usually with a little ASCII art of some sort of animal saying a message. And so I'm going to show you how to do that. As I said, it's default in Linux Mint. Currently, I'm in Ubuntu right now. And what I'm going to do is open up a terminal, and in your home directory, you'll find a file. It's a hidden file, so it starts with a dot. So let's go into, I'm going to use Nano text editor, dot, and it's called bashrc. Now when you open that up, you'll see that it's a bash script of sorts, and basically anytime you start a terminal, so if you log into the command prompt, or if you just open up a new terminal window such as xterminal, everything in this script will run. So this is how you can automate some settings, like do you want a colored terminal and different things like that. But you can add your own little scripts to the end of this file that will run every time you open up a terminal. And in the past I showed you a program called Fortune. If it's not installed by default, which it isn't on Ubuntu, just run your package manager. I used aptitude, so sudo aptitude fortune. Once that's installed, we can run the fortune command. So I'm going to add that to the end of this .bashrc file. I'm going to save this file, and just to show you what fortune does, I'm going to run it just by typing fortune, and what it does is it displays a random quote every time you run it. And so in Linux Mint, I believe it's a variation of this application, or maybe this application with some options that puts it with the little ASCII art work, but currently I don't know exactly how to do that. If I had Linux Mint installed at the moment, I would look, but I don't, but I want to answer this question. So now that that's been added to my .bashrc file, I can open up a new terminal. It opened up down here, and you'll see that it ran a quote there. I will open up another terminal window, and you can see I got a different quote that time. This is great for fun things like that, but it can also be very useful if you want to run a script every time you open up a terminal. So, for example, if you just wanted to, let's just say, automatically list all the files in your home directory, we can now go into nano.bashrc. We can go down to the bottom. I'm going to remove fortune for now, and I'll just put ls, and I will save that. Now when I open up a new terminal, you can see by default it lists all the files. You can also have it default to a different folder other than your home folder. So let's do that. Let's remove the ls, and I'll just do cd/var/www. That way it can default to my web directory if I have a web server such as Apache installed on my machine. So I will save that file. I'll open up a new window, and you can see that we are now in the var www folder by default, and I can list the files in there, and you can see that I have some PHP files from my PHP tutorials. So that is how you use .bashrc. Now you do want to take note that this particular file is saved in each user's home folder, so you can modify it for different users. So if you have more than one user on your machine, you can modify it different. So if you change it for you, it doesn't change it for everybody else. In the future, I'll show you where you can change it so it works for everybody. You make one change and it affects everybody if you'd like. So I'm going to remove that. Another thing you may want to know is if you want to run an application or a program in the background, remember to put the end symbol at the end there. So if it's processed like ls just took a second to run and the change directory took a second to run, but if it's something that's going to be running in the background after the terminal started up, and I'm trying to think of an example here. Let's just say find, whoops. So find root directory, obviously you're not going to be running this command, but you'd want to end that with the end symbol there, and that way you can continue working and that will be running in the background. So that's a quick look at our .bashrc file located in your home directory. Have fun with it. Might want to back it up before you start messing with it. You know, cp.bashrc.bashrc.old or something, so that if you mess it up, you can delete the one you messed up and recopy back, rename back the original one. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and visit bashscripts.info for more video tutorials like this.